All right. I think I gave enough time for the latecomers. Look, I know time is money, so I tend to try to, take care of this stuff so people can join us. So, for those of you unfamiliar with me, my name is Rob Valencia. I am the National Agent Trainer here at Pinnacle Financial Services. Always like to take the time out to, kind of thank you guys for taking time out of your day. I know time is money in this business. I'm a contracted and certified ready to sell agent myself. So, look, I understand, we value your time is really what I'm trying to say. So, a couple housekeeping notes. Um, Everyone is in listen only mode. And we do that because I don't know about you, but I don't want to hear everybody's dog, kids screaming, garage door, car, all that stuff. It tends to, make unnecessary interruptions when we're doing this. So that does not mean you can't ask questions. I'm sure we're going to be going over a ton of products from UnitedHealthOne today. We're joined by Jerry Wagner and Tara Bryant. Jerry is the National FMO Account Executive, and Tara is the National Account Executive. So they're going to be kind of doing a in tandem presentation, going over all the really awesome products that UnitedHealthOne has. So, sit back, sit tight. We're going to be getting into the meat and bones of this shortly, but I did want to talk a little bit about Pinnacle. So for those of you that are either new or that you're unfamiliar with us as an FMO, we've been around since about 2001. The principal of our company, Kevin Shields, he goes way back into the 70s and 80s. He was actually a door knocker, and he worked his way up through the long-term care field, which is actually what Pinnacle first really started selling was long-term care. And then, obviously when Medicare Advantage came around in 2004, 2005, that changed us. And that's basically 60 to 70% of what we do. But we do offer life, annuity, long-term care, and final expense. We work with every carrier across the country for the most part. We have a lot of great things here technology-wise. We're actually the only FMO in the entire country that has access to both Connecture and Sunfire. That's a Medicare Advantage e-enrollment platforms, which is available to all of our certified and ready to sell agents for free at no cost. We do tons of different webinars and trainings. I'm here. I'm the only national agent trainer that we have, but I do a lot of one-on-one trainings. I'm also, I have my degree in IT, so a lot of the things I talk about, especially over the past year, has been technology and creating a web presence and things like that. Because of the pandemic, obviously we all had to kind of change our business model quite a bit. So real quickly, this is our website, pfsinsurance.com. One, I always recommend following us on our social media pages. We posted, a lot of our recorded webinars and a lot of great content via our YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. So feel free to do that. What I wanted to show you is our About tab and our team. So very quickly, you have a lot of choices with FMO and brokers, but I can guarantee you there's not many, if any, of our competitors that you can go on their website and find a specific licensing person with all of their information, their picture, everything there. Look, we know I love shaking hands. I love looking into people's eyes. I love seeing the excitement about the product. Unfortunately, with COVID, I have not been able to travel at all this year. It's one of my favorite aspects of this job is being able to travel and meet people face to face, and we have not been able to do that. So this kind of puts a name to the face, as well as the ability to contact anybody here in our office. You have their position, their social media, you have their email, and their extension. If you need my information, all that's here. I can assure you that beard is about an inch longer than what it was when I took this picture, especially during the pandemic. We don't even want to see what I look like during that. My barber obviously was not working. So I did want to explain a little bit about how our sales team works with both the health products and all of our other products. So our health sales team is broken into two teams of three. Now, we've recently had some developments here. Jeff Powell was actually recently promoted. So he actually he's the vice president of all of health sales. So Marcus and James are part of this territory. If you're not familiar with the states, everything is listed here in alphabetical order. You can see what state goes with the marketer that you're supposed to deal with. Now, we kind of do this very uniquely, right? In a sales environment, a lot of times you deal with one person, and that's that. You're recruited by one person, and that's that. We do it this way because if Marcus is out traveling when we're able to do that again, he's out sick, he's on vacation, you can still speak with James. And James is just as knowledgeable as Marcus in all of these territories listed. And we feel that there's value in that, and we've been doing this now for about 4 or 5 years, and it's worked out pretty well. Nick Powell was also recently promoted. He's the assistant vice president, but he's still within his team role. So you have all three of those guys to work with. Now, our life annuity long-term care sales team is built a little bit differently. It's more by product line. You do have two directors of sales here, Mark Bolger, Warren Redinger. They're going to be the life and final expense. Now, Josh was recently promoted to assistant vice president of life annuities. He kind of heads the entire division, but he's still taking calls and working with his people and getting quotes out. And then we also have Will Torrance, he's the senior sales director. He also handles the more kind of complex life annuity and long-term care. And look, most of these guys, if not all of them, have their licenses. We understand what you guys go through on a daily basis. Anything I do in this office, I do because I want to see what the process is, how can I break that down, and how can I teach you either how to do it or how to do it efficiently. That's my goal. So that's my spiel about Pinnacle, about what we do and how we operate. I'm going to turn this over to Jerry Wagner. He's the National FMO Account Executive for UnitedHealthOne. He's going to go over a suite of products that you would have availability to for working with Pinnacle. And I think you guys are going to be really surprised about what they have available. So, Jerry, I'm going to turn this over to you. Are you all set and ready to go?
I am.
Awesome. All right. It is over to you, good sir.
Excellent. All right. Thanks so much, Rob. Appreciate it. As Rob said, there's a lot of information we have to cover today, so I'm going to go pretty quick. The call to action as a result of this presentation will be to get you guys, if you're so inclined, familiar with our portal, our eStore broker portal, and we're going to do that lastly. And to provide our contact information, just a little bit about the difference in terms of our roles here. I'll be turning it over to Tara here eventually once we get deeper into the product. So I work with, on a national basis, a great amount of some of our general agencies there, managing that partnership between UnitedHealthOne and that agency. Tara is more the hands-on. She is really kind of the guru, if you will, all things product related, all things broker portal related. So that's kind of how we team up here on the account management team. And again, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for spending some time with us today. We're concentrating on the pre-65 non-ACA market. Those are the types of plans that we have available to provide optionality for your clients. So knowing that you're probably doing some work in that Medicare space, a lot of times you're dealing with clients that have yet to age in or their family members. Those are the ones that we're looking to help out. High level overview on the agenda today. I do have to talk a little bit about Carrier Advantage because there's a multitude of different choices in this space. Then we're going to get into that core medical offering. There are 3 products that we consider core medical non-ACA products. We're going to do a high level overview on our top ancillary products. Those can be sold, any product we have right now can be sold standalone. But we do want to emphasize that those ancillary products can be sold alongside of an ACA plan, try to minimize some of that high out-of-pocket you're going to be dealing with. So a lot of this plays in the ACA world as well. We're going to bring things together with a consultative consumer protection package. And again, Tara's going to spend some time on the portal because it's very imperative that if you're not used to our e-store, as a result of this, if you are interested in anything we're going to cover today, to get registered on that portal because there's so many great tools out there, all of which you're going to be able to access what we're going to cover today by using that portal. So we'll cover that later. So let's start off with Carrier Advantage. There are a wide variety of different distributors and carriers you can choose to do business with in the pre-65 non-ACA world. One thing that we would impose upon everybody is to consider the trust factor that we have being United Healthcare. Decades of experience in the individual space. In 2010, President Obama signed what is now ACA. We have gone through probably 6 core medical product offerings, some of which were ACA during 2015 and 16. And we may be back in that space. And the not too distant future. So the point with that bullet point is we are very flexible and can shift on a dime no matter what is happening from a legislative perspective in this pre-65 individual health market. Obviously, being the largest health insurance company in the United States helps with name recognition. Agencies tell me all the time, the top two things we enjoy about doing business with you have nothing to do with your products. The sheer fact that our clients recognize the name, it cuts down on our sales cycle, and the fact you pay your claims. That's that last bullet point on this page. You pay them quickly, you pay them accurately, and I'm not dealing with client speed bumps along the way after they may have incurred a claim. Okay, that's a high level of commercial of why you should consider UnitedHealthOne. 75 years actually in the individual space goes a long, long way. So let's talk about some of these products now that we're going to get into today. You know, we're back into an ACA enrollment period. The Biden administration opened it back up mid-February and is going to run through May 15th. So for those that are either affected by the pandemic from an employment perspective, those that maybe didn't like what they chose during open enrollment, those that want to switch plans are able to do so. So we always like to remind people where we really fit. Where's the demographic that we really can maybe make an impact on? When it comes to our core medical products, those that are non-subsidized by the ACA are best fits for that. Those that are heavily subsidized are going to probably go that ACA route. People that are reasonably healthy, we're going to get into some underwriting, some simplified underwriting. All of our medical or medical products are underwritten. So it is not a guarantee issue product. So they got to be reasonably healthy. Those that are seeking a broad network option, we're going to cover here on every core medical product that we cover. We utilize United Healthcare's nationwide network. You don't necessarily have that with other options out there. You're more constricted to HMO type offerings. Those that understand out of pocket, high deductibles, always is a good plus in terms of the demographic. And if you are selling in the ACA space, a lot of these products, like I say, are great to supplement some of that coverage. So to just talk on a high level, what we are looking to accomplish today, you'll see these are per member per month price points. These are actually last year's rates too. So your ACA unsubsidized premium is just north of $600. If you have somebody that is not subsidized and they have a family of four and they say, I absolutely cannot afford these premiums, what can you do for me? Well, that's where the short-term plans, our tri-term medical plans, the fixed indemnity plans come into play. You'll see a much more user-friendly price point there. And then, of course, our accident, our critical illness type plans, and our dental and vision, you can really round out a nice package of coverage from a benefit perspective by bundling some of these, which we're going to get back to a little bit later. So we just put this out here to really accentuate the point. The ideal customer is a non-subsidized individual in this ACA space, this non-ACA space, I should say. So let's first concentrate on these three core medical products I've been referring to. Again, these are non-ACA core medical. It's our HPG fixed indemnity product, our short-term medical product, and our tri-term 36-month product. I'm going to go ahead and tackle the first one, and then I'm going to turn it over to our expert, Tara, and she's going to take you through the rest of these. We are going to start with HPG. What is HPG? It is Health Protector Guard. It is a fixed indemnity plan. The reason that we're going to lead with this product and not our short-term product, because short-term is the most popular product out there right now that carriers like us that are not participating in a lot of the exchanges have. In fact, I can tell you Pinnacle Financial, of the business they do, about 2/3 of that is short-term because that's the one most everybody is used to. You can write it up to a duration in most cases, up to a 12-month period of time, and it can really bridge the gap on an affordable basis, get somebody a nationwide network, and save some money along the way. Now, the reason I'm going to start with this particular plan is if anything changes with this current administration to short-term, you've got to have different tools in your tool belt, to use an overused phrase, that you have readily available to provide optionality to your clients, because that doesn't necessarily mean they will be able to afford an ACA premium even if short-term is constricted to like a 3-month period, like it was years back. So what is this Health Protector Guard plan? It is a first dollar coverage. It is an indemnity plan. These benefits are paid per person for eligible expenses, regardless of the expenses. It's a schedule of benefit plan. Disclaimer on this, it is not major medical coverage. You're not getting maternity. You're not getting children's pediatrics. Um, you're not getting mental and nervous. It does not meet, obviously, like I just said, none of these minimal essential coverages. So there's a disclaimer we get out of the way. What is it? It's very simple to understand. You're not dealing with deductibles. There are no app fees. It comes with an initial 12-month rate guarantee, signifying it is a permanent plan. Once you get it, you can keep it as long as you continue to pay your premiums. It does come with some simplified medical underwriting, as I stated earlier. Pre-X is covered after the first 12-month period. So even if you might have a pre-existing condition, it can be covered. So that's a retention feature. The longer you keep it, the more those conditions are covered. Comes with a 10-day free look. And all of our products are not inclusive to any open enrollment period. You can sell everything we're talking about today, any day, any month, any time of the year. The green is going to signify where we have the newest version of HPG3. Tara is going to show you a product availability grid later on. It is your Bible to know where we have what products and what we offer. The HPG3, we get very creative. HPG1, HPG2, HPG3, short-term Gen 5, short-term Gen 6. All we do with the new launch is we put a higher number on it. HPG3 is the best Health Protector Guard plan that we have. Again, this is an illustration to show you, but I would refer you to that availability grid, the product availability grid that Tara is going to hit on a little bit later on. When we moved to HPG3 the latter part of last year, a lot of enhancements were made. I'm not going to read through all these bullet points. The biggest one, we left the multi-plan network and we moved to our own United Healthcare Choice Plus network. More on that in a second. You get a Teledoc included, which is kind of the rage nowadays because nobody wants to go to a brick and mortar facility. There's concierge service to help you post-claim, negotiating big claims. There's retention features, improved surgical schedule. There's chiropractic benefits in here. There's a hospital admission benefit. You hear about these plans from the 90s. Oh, it's just an old hospital doctor plan. It doesn't cover anything. That is not true. This is probably one of the better ones benefit-wise in the industry. And again, this is probably one of the biggest selling points. We're utilizing our own nationwide network, north of 1.4 million professionals and specialists, over 6,500 facilities. The biggest thing, look at that discount. By utilizing somebody within that network, it's an average of 56% negotiated discount. That's the power of using UHC's network. So let's talk a little bit about the plan detail. It works much differently than our previous fixed indemnity plans. There are 3 different portions of it. For simplicity's sake, we're going to talk about the standard in the works. Okay. What is the standard? It's the base part of the plan. It's your most catastrophic and comprehensive portion of the plan. You choose from either the choice, the select, the preferred, or the premier. The higher you go up, the more you are going to get in benefit, and it stands to reason the more you will pay in premium. So we're going to select our base plan. This is right out of the brochure. Again, as a takeaway, when Tara's finished today, I recommend you get on eStore. I recommend you look at these brochures if you're not familiar with them. And obviously, you can let us know any questions that you might have after that. This is the critical portion of the plan I'm talking about. Your hospital confinement situations, your intensive care situations, which, by the way, on that choice, you're getting $1,000 per day in the hospital. If you're in the intensive care, that $1,000 is in addition to the $1,000 per day. So you're looking at $2,000 right there if you're in the ICU. ER services, transportation, ground air ambulance, the surgical tier schedule, which I'm going to bring up here in a second. All of your outpatient services, your labs, your x-rays, your diagnostic type testing. These are all schedule reimbursements for those types of scenarios. Again, I'm not going to read through all this, but as you can see, the further you move across that grid, as you go from select to preferred to premier, the higher the benefit for these types of services. Here's the actual surgical tier schedule. It is based on a 7-tier surgical schedule. Again, let's just for illustration purposes take a look at the choice. It starts out with a tier 7 surgery, tonsils, adenoids, things like that, $250 reimbursement, all the way up to your more significant type surgeries that you may have in a tier 1, as much as $25,000. Again, the more you move across those grids, the higher those benefits are going to get. So, newly improved surgical tier schedule, very important. After you select your critical care portion, you're going to be selecting the works. There are 3 different works levels. What is works, do you ask? It is standing for your wellness, your office visits, and your prescription fill reimbursements. Again, this is right out of the plan brochure. Not to go through all of these, we'll just concentrate on that works one. It's your most basic reimbursement for your wellness, your office visit, and your prescription. These are wellness exam type things, which incidentally, there's only a 30-day wait on those. It used to be 6 months under those older plans. Your health screenings, your mammogram, EKG, stress test, colonoscopy, then you get into your doctor office visits, your specialty visits, any type of in-office surgery. And then as you go down, you're going to see chiropractic benefits and then your prescription fills, your name, your generic, so on and so forth. Again, those aren't copays. Those are reimbursements to the schedule. Okay. So maybe somewhat complicated when you see this on our broker portal, but we put this up there because this is what you see. Again, when Tara gets into the portal, gets into a little bit more about this, it can be somewhat overwhelming because by the time you factor in picking your base plan, then picking your works level, there's a lot of different options. The reason that those two are highlighted on here, the choice works level 1 and the choice works level 2, 60+% of our sales right now in this product are on those 2 categories. So I've just simplified it for you. The reason that choice 2 is also being chosen is because that's the one you have to pick in terms of a works level to get chiropractic benefits. So if you want to start quoting this, my suggestion is to start with those 2 levels. Some additional information on these, whatever works level you choose, these are paid per calendar year. So you'll see additional benefits under the age of 18. You're going to see a reimbursement up to 4 immunizations for child and a flu shot, $10 each for allergy treatments. Ages 18 plus, $25 for the annual flu shot, $100 for a PAP for adult female routine office visit, wellness. And ages 40 up, $100 for a PSA reimbursement for the adult males. Again, these are subject to a 30-day waiting period. This is considered to be the wellness or the preventive portion of that works plan. There are retention features built in here. So for your client to move beyond year 1, not only will pre-ex be covered, but there's some other things that are baked in as well. These go into effect the first day of the next full calendar year after being in force for more than 6 months. Now's a great time to sell this to capitalize on that. What are some of the extra built-in features? No matter what base plan you choose, the choice to select the preferred, the premier, it's going to double in year 2 for a reimbursement. We're talking being able to get a significant amount of reimbursements on some of those catastrophic type scenarios, of which we're going to model one out for you a little bit later. Also, there's built-in retention features for office visits and prescription drug refills, keeping this beyond year 1. A couple other highlights on this. You're looking at $2 million calendar year maximums per covered person with a $5 million lifetime maximum benefit per covered person. Those are some pretty generous amounts when it comes to the indemnity style plan. You can choose any effective date that you want. Next day is possible, and you're able to quote these plans 60 days in advance. So to recap, the Health Protector Guard, or better known as HPG plans. This is guaranteed renewable to age 65. These benefits are per person per calendar year, pre-ex covered after that initial 12 months. You can use anybody you want to in the network. However, we do recommend staying within the United Healthcare Providers network to save that average of 56%. We don't coordinate benefits with other types of insurance. So this is paid directly to the client. There are a variety of different plan and benefit choices. Again, I highlighted some of the more popular ones for you. And again, before I turn this over to Tara to talk about our short term, which is the one everybody wants to talk about, because I still say it is still our leading core medical product we have right now. But again, I strongly urge you to get used to these indemnity plans. The sales of those types of plans went through the roof the last time CMS backed off on the duration you can sell a short term. And again, it's necessarily not providing the indemnity over one of these other options. It's about being ready to provide optionality in the event that the legislative winds blow in a different direction. I'm going to be tying back that product with our short term product, as well as some of the other ancillary products that Tara is going to go through um, with you a little bit later on. But now I'm going to turn it over to Tara, and she's going to pick up with our short term medical.
Hey, real quick, Jerry. We had a question. Is any of
sure.
these products going to be available in New York?
No, actually, I think the only availability that we have in New York might be dental and vision, and maybe it's very limited, and maybe a few of the other ancillary, of which when we get into some of the resources that are available on eStore, that product availability grid is going to give you a lot of that information on what specific products are available in each of the specific states that you might be looking at, okay?
All right, Stuart. Hopefully that answers your question. I know New York is one of those
Little
difficult
tough.
states to get
Yeah.
products approved. It's up there with like Florida. It actually New York's probably the worst to get stuff approved, and Florida's
Yeah.
like a close second.
Yeah.
So, but thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so with that, we're going to hop right into the short-term medical plans. I think one of the things that's really important to know with our short-term plans, with it being one of our most popular core products, is where it's available. We sell in a majority of states, New York not being one of them. Again, it's one of the difficult states. States like California and Colorado don't have short-term plans by with any carrier. So you'll see some of those, but here this map is going to illustrate our blue states that we sell two different generations of products. The states that are red, we sell only our newly enhanced plans, and then the couple states in green are only selling some of our older version plans. So when we talk about and we look at this grid here and it indicates Gen 5 and Gen 6, what does that mean? So this is a good illustration on what is the difference between our different generations of products. When we look at our Gen 5 plans, when we're on our website and you're quoting, those are going to be referred to as our A plans. And then the Gen 6 plans are going to be referred to as our newest generation with enhanced benefits. So this grid here is really just to kind of illustrate a couple of key differences. Payment options are going to be different. Our newest generation is monthly only. Our Gen 5 plans do allow a lump sum payment for a discount in their premium. Cancellations are also handled a little bit differently. The new plans are canceled really only as if they're paid to date. On the Gen 5 or our A plans, we can cancel and prorate and refund unused premium back to your client. Couple of benefit differences. We've eliminated the waiting period for sickness and illness on our newly enhanced plans. For our first time ever, we've added an air ambulance benefit. In most states, we've increased our spine and back benefit significantly from 250 up to 2500. And then we've also enhanced the prescription benefits as well with increasing the max benefit per term, as well as adding a copay for tier 1 drugs on those. So again, these are conversations we can have with your brokers if there's a question on what those differences are. So what does it look like when you quote it? This is how you're going to see, as I mentioned, the A plans are Gen 5. So in conversation, if you hear us mention Gen 5 or Gen 6, Gen 5 are our A plans. Gen 6 is going to be those newest enhanced plans that we offer. So when we look at specific things that we'd like you guys to know with short-term medical plans, it is really important that clients and brokers understand that short-term medical plans aren't priced or designed to cover pre-existing conditions. So we are going to define a pre-existing condition as pretty much anything within the 2 years prior to the effective date. Nothing will be covered with those pre-existing conditions or any medications or any treatment related to them. Portability is extremely important when it comes to short-term medical plans. Jerry mentioned earlier, we're now in the middle of another open enrollment period for ACA. We know ACA plans are not portable. However, when your client buys a short-term medical plan, let's say, for example, they buy a plan in Pennsylvania and they are moving to Missouri, they may take that plan with them when they go and keep it to the end of the duration that they've purchased. All right, so with that being said, I want to get into a little bit about some of the coverage details as it pertains to, as we mentioned, Gen 5 and Gen 6. When we look at those Gen 5 plans, or when you're looking at the quoting and you see they are the A plans, we have three product offerings. We have an Elite, we have a Select, a Plus Select, and a Value Select. Okay, Value Select going to be our least comprehensive, Plus Elite going to be our most comprehensive. And of course, offering a variety, a wide range of deductibles to hopefully help you kind of fit whatever budget needs your client might have, ranging anywhere from 1,000 up to 12,500. Now, when we look at their Gen 6 plans, we offer four different product offerings. We do have a copay plan, and then you'll notice some similarities with the Plus Elite, the Plus, and the Value plans. And then we've also added an additional deductible on the Gen 6. You'll notice 7,500. And again, those deductibles are going to be per person, per term. What's very nice about every single one of our short-term plans, it does not matter what generation you are looking at. Every single one of our plans is going to include an unlimited $75 urgent care copay. That is all inclusive to that in-network urgent care facility and anything that is done within that facility. So that is a very, very strong benefit on our plans. You might have somebody that's looking for a copay plan. Premium on that copay plan might be too expensive, so you switch gears and look at a different plan. This could be a great thing that you could sell your client on, letting them know that, hey, you might not have that doctor office copay, but you do have the unlimited urgent care visit copays. All right, so just a few other plan details when it comes to determining eligibility on your short-term plans. Short-term medical plans are available to primary insureds that are ages 19 to 64 and 11 months. In most states, dependents will stay on up to age 26. There are a few state variations with that. We do require that your clients have lived in the U.S. for the last 12 consecutive months. And then there is some simplified underwriting when it comes to these plans. Jerry had mentioned that previously, that there is underwriting on each of these core medical products. So specific to the short-term medical plans, there's really three different phases that we go through. The first phase is the application. This is just a snip right from a short-term medical application. First and foremost, your client must be able to answer no to each of the underwriting questions on the short-term application to be eligible for that part of it. The next part of it is your client does need to fit within the height and weight build chart. Whether you're whatever, male or female, need to fit within the range that is there for that. Otherwise, if you don't, you are a decline. Very simplified. Phase 3 of underwriting with us, and this is going to go for, again, all core medical products with us. As being part of United Healthcare, we have access to all United Healthcare claims. When somebody applies with us, we are going to do a cross-check against all United Healthcare claims. They might have had a group plan, might have had an individual, they might have had a community and state plan, an old pre-ACA plan. We have visibility to all claims. We're looking in the last 5 years. So it is important that your client understand that there are some cases where maybe they did answer no to all the questions on the application. However, we have a hit on the United Healthcare claims database, which then in turn, your client could certainly appeal for reconsideration. To kind of recap a few different things we talked about, Jerry mentioned previously on the Health Protector Guard plan, we are going to utilize our own network. That is the United Healthcare Choice or Choice Plus network, giving very, very strong discounts on covered services, giving your client optionality. Their variety of plan designs, deductibles, coinsurance, really just to give some flexibility to fit the need of what your client's looking for. That unlimited urgent care visit copay of $75. And then, not to mention that these plans are available year round. You don't need a special enrollment period. You don't need a qualifying event. This plan can be sold every day of the year for your clients. Okay, so that's really important to keep in mind. Everybody's situation is different. this plan is available to kind of help with all of those different types of situations. So with that, I'm going to hop right into our tri-term medical plan. As the name mentions, it's a tri-term, going to be a 36-month short-term plan. I think it is probably one of the most solid non-ACA products in the market. It is built on the same chassis that our pre-ACA medical plans were written on. Pre-X is covered after the plan has been active for 12 months. There is a 4-tier prescription drug card built into each of the plans. Preventive benefits included as well. Again, we're utilizing our own network. And really, when looking and as price comparison from a short-term plan to an ACA plan, this is going to fall somewhere in the middle. So how does the application process work with this? It is one application that is going to cover the entire 3-year duration. Now, your first term is going to be a 364 duration. When that plan ends is when the next term starts, and that runs for 365 days. And then your term 3 is also going to run for 365 days. It is important to know that these benefits run term year. They are not calendar year. So for example, if you have a client that buys a tri-term medical plan, effective date of April 1st, their deductible and their benefits are going to run April 1st to April 1st every year. This is directly from the product brochure that you have access to on the broker portal. This is going to outline the 4 different plans that are available in the tri-term space. What you will find on these plans is they all have a 2 million lifetime max. Nothing changes from plan to plan with that. There is a set coinsurance amount for each plan. So your copay plan is a 70/30. Plan 80 is a 80/20 plan, and the plan 100 is a 100% coinsurance plan. And then our value plan, you do have a little bit of flexibility for choice on that. All plans are going to include, there is coverage for office visits, urgent care, preventive, ER, and different things like that. It's just going to be covered differently depending, of course, on the plan design that you choose. And the same thing for pharmacy benefits. Depending if you choose the copay plan or not a copay plan, that's going to determine to go towards my deductible or do I get a drug card with that plan. As far as issue ages are concerned, again, you have to be age 19 in order to buy it. With an exception in the state of Missouri, you do need to be 20 in order to buy it. And then you may not be older than 63 in order to purchase this plan. So we will not accept any application if the primary insured or the spouse on the plan is 64 years old. Should the primary insured go past the age of 65, coverage is going to end for everybody. So just a tip on that. I would always list the primary insured to be the youngest of the couple that you are quoting. Now, if you have dependents on the plan that are younger than age 26 at the time of application, even though they'll turn 26, during the term of coverage, they will remain on that plan until the policy ends. Should the primary insured pass away, if there is a spouse or dependents on that plan, they may become the primary insured and keep that coverage for the remainder of the duration. As we mentioned, there is underwriting on these plans. During this underwriting process, one of 3 things is going to happen. We are going to issue your client as they've applied for. We are going to rate them up based on their medical history, or we are going to decline them based on their medical history. And if you are dealing with a family, we are going to make any medical underwriting decisions individually. So we may decline one person, but accept the rest of the family. And then a few other things, of course, that come into that underwriting are going to be, what is your medical history? What is your height and weight? And are you a tobacco user? Those are all things that are also going to affect the premium on our tri-term plans. There is a one-time $40 application fee in most of our states. The soonest effective date your clients are going to get is going to be 5 days out from the date that we receive the application. We do allow cancellation at any time on these plans. And if there would be unused premium, we will prorate that and refund that back to your client. However, it is very important to know that if your client, even though they are not required to, if they do not keep the plan for the 3-year duration, they would have to wait 6 months in order to reapply with us again. Okay. And unlike short-term plans, these are not portable from state to state. So if your client, for example, buys a tri-term plan in Nebraska and that family moves to, let's say, Florida, they don't have to wait the 6 months. Okay, we'll waive that 6 months because of them moving to a new state. However, it cancels in that old state and they have to reapply the new state. So it is not portable from state to state. All right, so with that, I'm going to hop into the different ancillary product offerings that we are seeing an overwhelmingly large amount of business coming in right now, really probably due to a variety of reasons. I think simply because these are available to be sold standalone, don't have to have any other specific products with us. But I think also because we are in another open enrollment period, so a lot of these different products are used to supplement their ACA coverage that they may have currently. So I'll start out with our dental, hearing, and our vision plans. And I think one of the big things that we see right now is, and we've got some agencies that are doing this. It's available standalone. So you may have clients that are being written on an ACA plan. A lot of times the agents are turning around and selling a dental and vision plan to those ACA clients of theirs. Now, on our dental plans, you only need to be 18 in order to purchase it alone, but we don't do any child only. So if you've got kids that are under the age of 18 looking for coverage, that we don't do. However, there's no age maximum. So dealing with people in the senior space, this is a great fit for the senior space. Now, I'm certainly not a Medicare guru by any means, but I do understand that not every Medicare product offers a dental and or a vision benefit. So this is a great product for that space. Coverage is available as early as of the next date. Um, may apply 60 days in advance, and it is a guaranteed renewable product, giving your client coverage to over 100,000 providers nationwide. And we also utilize our own network with our dental plans, which is going to be the National Options PPO 30 network. Just a quick overview, we do have 3 different families of plans that we offer, really kind of focusing on 2 different consumer markets. So we offer a primary and a premier plan that's going to offer coverage to your under age 65 clients. There is a 1-year overlap, so if somebody is 64, they are going to actually have access to all 3 of these families of plans. But if you're quoting somebody that's 65, that is where our Gen product is going to come into play. So 3 different families of plans, 2 different distinct consumer markets that we're dealing with. When you are quoting it, this is what it's going to look like. It is going to look a bit overwhelming, but on this screen, this gives you an idea what are our best sellers in each of these families of plans. So as we mentioned, we had 3 families, primary, premier, and Gen. When we look at our primary plans, the primary product underneath the primary family is our best-selling plan. It is the lowest premium, provides coverage only for your preventive and basic services, and it's $1,000 annual max benefit per person. When we look at that Premier plan, our 2 best-selling plans are going to be Premier Choice and Premier Plus. You're looking at a $1,500 annual max on Choice, $2,000 on Premier Plus. No waiting period on any of your preventive, basic, and major services. There are day 1 benefits on each of these categories. What's different on Premier Plus is we are going to offer orthodontics and dental implant coverage on that particular plan. Orthodontics are available only to children under the age of 19. It has its own $1,000 lifetime max benefit, and there is a 12-month wait specific to orthodontia. And then if you're dealing in that senior space, our Gen Deluxe is our most commonly sold product. Again, offering implant coverage, $2,000 annual max benefit, and then we're going to get into it here on our next screen. The hearing benefits are included with all of our plans, but just a little bit differently, whether you're looking at the under 65, which are the primary and premier plans. It's going to be discount only on those. So we'll provide help in setting the appointments. There's discounts on the exams and hearing aids themselves, as well as a complimentary 1-year supply of batteries. But on those Gen plans that we target in the over 65 space, not only do they get those discounts, but they're also getting fixed amounts as well. So we're going to give them on day 1 a $75 benefit for a hearing exam. And then we're also going to give them an increasing benefit year over year for hearing aids. Okay. And what's nice is that set amount of either 100, 300, 500, or 750, depending on what year they're in, those set amounts are in addition to the discounts that they get off of the retail price. Okay, and those discounts are anywhere from 30 to 60% off of major hearing aid brand names. Okay, there is also a vision benefit that can be added onto our plans. And what's really nice when we look at our vision benefits and those hearing benefits, they are their own separate annual maximums outside of the annual maxes that are built into each of those specific dental plans. Okay, so um, no separate, or they are separate annual maxes, no medical underwriting, and again, no age maximum. So it works great in the senior space. When we look at that vision rider that you can add onto our plans, it is going to provide an eye exam every 12 months at a $10 copay, frames every 12 months with a $150 allowance in network, lenses every 12 months at a $10 copay. That's going to be your single vision, your lenticular lenses, bifocals, trifocals, and then contacts every 12 months as well. And if their contacts are on our select list of lenses, it is a zero copay. And when we look at that under 65, those products, the primary and the premier, if you add it, you do get coverage for both glasses and contacts. And then on those Gen plans, should you add it, you are getting a benefit for glasses or contacts. Okay. So to kind of recap that a little bit, again, 3 families of plans targeting 2 different consumer segments. We've simplified our pricing on these products really into 4 tiers. So you've got an individual rate, husband and wife, parent and children, or family. And it is important to know that regardless of the number of children on the plan, the price is going to be the same. So whether you have 1 child or 7 children, it's going to be the same. Vision is an optional rider. You can add it or you don't need to. The hearing discounts or those fixed amounts that I mentioned are automatically included. And the pricing on these products is extremely competitive. This is our most popular sold ancillary product, would be the dental hearing and vision plan. Now we do also offer a standalone vision product that can be sold outside of, it doesn't have to be attached to any dental plan. Okay, so standalone, only need to be 18 or older to buy it. Again, no age max, so it does work great in that senior space. And there's no medical underwriting, so this is a guarantee issue product. As you can see, we have a very, very large footprint with our dental plans. Okay, and I'm sorry, our standalone vision plans. We do offer 2 plans. We got very creative with the plan names. We named them Plan A, Plan B. Plan A is going to be contacts or glasses. Plan B is going to be contacts and glasses. Again, eye exams are covered at a $10 copay. Frames are covered with a $150 allowance. There's no copay on those. And then lenses, as I mentioned, single vision, bifocals, trifocals, lenticulars, $10 copay as well for being in network. Um, and again, I think one of the main reasons why we sell so much of our standalone vision plans is this information right here. The pricing on our standalone products is extremely competitive for the benefits that are built into it. And I think Jerry and I were just talking this morning on how much of an increase we've seen in our standalone vision sales here recently. Our sales are up 60%, and I highly attribute it simply to these premiums right here and us being in another ACA enrollment period. And a lot of brokers are selling these products to their clients on those ACA plans. All right, so with that, I want to hop into another one of our very, very popular ancillary products that is being sold a lot, whether it's on a standalone to maybe help alleviate some of the out-of-pocket exposure on an ACA plan or a group plan, but also in tandem with our short-term and our tri-term and our Health Protector Guard plans as well. That is our Accident Pro Series products. So again, you can see a very large footprint of where we do sell this. Few state variations, we might not have all 3 of these products that we show here in every single state, but by and large, you are going to see a majority of these products are available in all of those states that were highlighted on the map prior. So there are 3 different products built in to the Accident Pro Series that we offer. We do have a traditional AME plan with is just going to be an accidental injury benefit with a matching accidental death and dismemberment benefit. We look further over to the right, we have an accident pro gap product that is going to include your accidental injury benefit, critical illness, accidental death and dismemberment as well. But we're going to add in a one-time hospital admission benefit, which works very, very nice with an ACA plan to kind of eliminate some of those out-of-pocket exposures for when there is a hospital admission for sickness or illness. However, our most popular plan that we are seeing sold right now, whether it's standalone because they have an outside product outside of UnitedHealthOne, or maybe they have a short term or a tri term or health protector guard with us, and that's the plan in the middle, and that's Accident Pro Guard. That is going to give you that accidental injury benefit, critical illness, and the AD&D benefit as well. What we really like on this product is that critical illness plan is going to pay out 3 different times. Heaven forbid somebody should be diagnosed with 3 different critical illnesses. And it does also pay out on 14 different critical illnesses. So cancer, heart attack, stroke, loss of hearing, speech, vision, and a variety of others. But what's nice about this is a really good way to help alleviate the out-of-pocket exposure and kind of eat up deductibles that clients might have on their other primary health product. These plans, in order to purchase them, you only need to be 18. We go up to 64. And they are guaranteed renewable up to the age of 70. And then dependent children, should they be on the plan, they would drop off. They would stay on up to their 26th birthday. So again, a really, really good product that we're seeing sold a lot right now to help complement their major medical plan or to help with maybe, again, the products they might have, either an ACA plan or a group plan. Another product that we are seeing a lot of right now, Jerry kind of mentioned this earlier, was our Teledoc product. That is automatically included on Health Protector Guard. However, we do sell it on a standalone basis. This is virtual access to healthcare. Um, During the year last year, I have 2 kids. They used it on their own, probably no less than a dozen times. It's extremely successful. These doctors are able to diagnose, treat, and prescribe medications for you right over your video chat or your phone call with them. This service is available in all 50 states. And what's nice is these doctors that you're dealing with, they are board certified, average license of 20 years, and they do their license and reside in the U.S. One other thing that I do want to add to this is these providers or this product does offer this service in over 200 different languages. So if you are dealing with clients that might be speaking a different language, this is a great product for them. $20 a month. That is all your client is paying for premium, no matter if there's one person on the plan or if there's a family of 10. It's $20 per policy. You can access this product via smartphones, tablets, computers, landline if people still have that. And there's a great portal for it that your clients have access to, and the app is extremely friendly to use. So if you were to look at needing to seek care, you have choices of using Healthiest You, seeing your primary care, going to urgent care or ER. But of course, as this page really illustrates, you look at what Healthiest You does for you. You don't pay a consultation fee or a copay to use it. You're not traveling anywhere, so you're not needing to go and sit inside a brick and mortar building. You're not having to worry about a claim being filed. And you're not having to worry about, well, is my doctor available? Is their office closed? It's available 24/7, no matter where you are. So I think some stats that are worth mentioning here, just to really signify the importance of this product for people. 94% first contact resolution. Your client, most of their services are handled within that one contact. 11 minutes average response time to speak with a provider. And over half of the claims are actually handled during working hours between 9 and 5. So people aren't necessarily needing to leave work or missing work because of that. And again, as I mentioned, over 200 different languages are supported through this product, which can help a wide variety of different people. So I know that it's a lot of different ancillary products that we talked about. It's a lot of different things to kind of keep in mind, but it's very important to understand that these are all products that are available to your clients right now just to kind of build in those layers and kind of help supplement the different coverages that they might currently have at this time. So, with that, I am going to turn it back over to Jerry, and he's going to kind of get into kind of our approach to the consumer protection plan.
Thanks, Tara. Nice job. So I know we're coming up on the top of the hour here. I know we didn't get into the UH1 portion of this till about 10 after. I'm gonna leave it up to Rob once we finish this if he wants to get into the broker portal, or perhaps if we do that another time. But I do want to wrap up some of what Tara brought in together. The protection plan that we're talking about is building a bundle package that's more comprehensive in nature and potentially minimizing any type of out-of-pocket expenses that you might be looking for and minimizing that client attrition, as well as making more money too. So the way we position this and look at this in terms of rounding out the bundle packages is you're really building both sides of the house, because no matter what you're going to choose nowadays, you're going to have a high deductible option. It's either going to be a short term, it's going to be a tri-term, it's going to be an ACA, it could be a faith ministry plan. You're dealing with a lot of out of pocket in the beginning of those plans to satisfy the deductible. So we talk about building the front part of the house and then also the back part of the house where you're not subject to stop loss out of pocket. So you have a sound foundation. Here's what I'm talking about. I randomly quoted a family of four, a 40-year-old husband and wife, 2 kids in Orlando, Florida. Here's your optionality in play. You've got an ACA option under option 1, short-term and HPG. So we actually combined 2 of our core medical products to take care of the front end, which is HPG, and the back end, which is the short-term. Then we quote a tri-term, and then to make it more economical, we just do a short term with at least the Teledoc app on it. And you can see on the bottom there, of course, this is an unsubsidized premium on ACA, but how you go across from left to right, um, you're talking significant savings when it comes to bundling these packages together. The one that's my favorite is option 2, because we quote a $10,000 deductible on a short-term plan for this family of 4. Your premium is $473. If we take the Health Protector Guard Choice 1 for $281, and then mom and dad aren't going to have any dental in this, so we're going to give them dental, that's $130. Look at this bundle that we put together for them for $880 some dollars. And if that's too much, you can always quote one of Tara's accident and critical illness plans to get more economical with that 646. But here, I want to show you the power of this protection plan when you take that HPG3 in a short-term medical plan. We're going to assume there was an episode here that resulted in an ambulance transportation to the ER, which resulted in 4 days inpatient hospital. One of those days was an ICU. And then we factor in some other surgical things here going on because there was a tier 4 surgery. This entire bill, and it's going to be far more than $42,000 because obviously there's more miscellaneous charges here, but the power of the discount is going to get you down to $18,000 and change. You're still looking at a $10,000 deductible to satisfy that. If you were to have this Health Protector Guard plan, you would net $10,650 as a benefit payout, which covers the entire deductible and actually has a overrun of $650 that consumer will take. If they didn't have the Health Protector Guard, you're looking at $10,000. And it could be $5,000, it could be $2,500, whatever that deductible is. But that's the power of the bundle. And also, when you take a look at bundling those plans, if you were just to sell the short-term plan in and by itself, this would be your commission, your compensation in this gray column. If you were to bundle those options we just illustrated, take a look in terms of what happens to your total comp. That's over 200% in earnings you're going to make by bundling an entire package opposed to just selling the short term. These are some of our more popular bundles as well. Obviously, the accident ProGuard with short term, the Healthy Stew with short term. My favorite is number 5, and you're going to start seeing more of this, and that's the short term and Health Protector Guard. But the point of this particular portion of the presentation, don't just think about selling the short term. create an entire protection package bundle for your consumer. If you're in the ACA game, let's assume that same family of four was making just around $100,000. They're going to qualify for a pretty substantial subsidy, and their premium is only going to be $370 a month with an Ambetter plan in Florida. What better way to supplement that than some of Tara's products that we went over, the vision plan, the accident plan. We didn't talk about a hospital indemnity, but that's out there. Look how economical these are to round out coverages if you're dealing with an ACA sale. I don't know how deep we want to get into this. I guess my recommendation at this point in time, based on where we are in time, because that was a lot of information, but we did want to let you know the breadth of product that we actually have. This is the e-store we're talking about. It's www.uh1.com/broker. If you're not familiar with this, if you're not registered for this, I highly recommend you do so, because everything we covered today and then some can be found out here. You'll see two of those orange arrows. The brochures are out there. There are webinars on demand with these products and everything else. It's how you do your quoting. You'll see that orange button down on the bottom left. And if you click on that hyperlink by products by state grid, boom, this is what I was talking about in the beginning. This is so imperative, because a lot of these products, especially short term, it's not a one size fits all. It's going to vary by state in terms of which plan type you can offer. It becomes more boilerplate when you get into the ancillary, but you're going to want to access this product availability grid. I think at this time, Rob, I'm going to ask you. We can certainly get into how to do a quote, but being that we are at the top of the hour, I'm going to let it be your call if we want to proceed. And for those that can maybe stick on, that would be fine. Either way is your call.
Jerry, how long do you think the that side of it would be?
5 minutes.
Go on,
maybe
man.
A little bit
do
more.
Your thing.
Maybe a little bit more, actually. Let me just do
That's
this.
Fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
I would say let's just do this. Because I know if it's me, my attention span is probably gone by now if I'm a viewer. But here's what I'll do, and then we'll do kind of a takeaway. This again is the site that you're going to want to become familiar with, the www.uh1.com/broker. I'm not going to go through all these tabs, but this tab right here, the brochures, sales tools, and training, that is going to be a must, particularly if you're not familiar with our products. Get into those brochures. There's sample applications out there. Again, the webinars on demand. Then if you see the Get a Quote button, bottom left, if you were to click on that, this is exactly what you're going to see. You're going to have to put in geographic zip code, 5-digit zip code on the top, the county you reside in, and then here comes the information on your applicants. Obviously, gender, date of birth, whether they're a tobacco user or not, and then obviously we're looking for the weight range with a tri-term application. Once you put in all of that, here are the plans you're going to see. This is how they're exactly displayed out there, and you simply just check a box. Very, very simple. I believe you can quote 4 different plans within the plan families. And this is everything we've talked about today and then some. See all these plans out here. And then on bottom right, you see new plans. This is hypothetical. We pretended we picked a short-term plan with a dental plan and an accident guarantee issue plan. This is what they're going to look like. At this point in time, you can send them to the prospect. You can save this and print the quote. And there are ways to do broker-assisted apps. But again, for the purpose of timing here, we're not going to go through all this. But again, the e-store is so very, very important to get you guys signed on to this. I would recommend, and before I get there, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. There is an incentive going on right now. It runs through April 15th. We are looking for getting a combination of 25 as a baseline of our core medical products, tri-term, health protector guard, and our short-term plans. The short-term plans have to have a Healthiest You Teledoc attached to qualify for this, but these are dollar amounts per policy paid back to App One. You have to be registered for this, so it's a great incentive we have going on right now. Quick wrap up, why us? Brand strength. We pay our claims, we pay them promptly and accurately. Those discounts that Tara and I talked about by using our nationwide network, Gosh, all the plans we talked about gives your consumer, that client of yours, great optionality, and of course, your internal team here. And this is what I was going to say. You have questions on eStore, you're not logged on, you want to get logged on, you want to watch some BrainShark webinars, you want to take a look at some of these plan brochures and formulate some questions for us, by all means. That's why we are here for you to help. Again, our contact information is up here. And I know we ran a little bit over, but that's a ton of information. So in closing, do a little bit of homework with that portal, and anything we can help you with moving forward, please let us know. And I believe that's it, Rob.
Awesome, Jerry. We did have a question. Is this a proprietary presentation, or is this something that you'd be able to send over for us to be able to hand out to agents?
What I can do is I can strip anything rate related in here out and make it pretty much boilerplate. Our compliance people get a little bit uneasy when this gets out there. It might even hit like social media or something that our rates are out there. And then if we go through like a rate change or a rate action and those rates aren't good anymore, then internally we might get a little bit of heat. But I can strip it down for you and get you a boiled down version for you.
That would be excellent. So hopefully that answers your question. So great. Ton of useful information. Jerry, Tara, I really appreciate your time today. Every agent on the call, I really appreciate your time today. I know time is money. I know we went a little bit over, but I mean, hands down, so much information. This is going to be recorded, so that'll be sent out to everybody. If there's something you missed, maybe there's something you need to rewatch, you will have the ability to do that. I implore you to follow us on our social media. I normally mention this 2 or 3 times a call. We post all of these recorded webinars and really great information on our LinkedIn, our Twitter, our YouTube, for you to have access and be able to look at that stuff whenever, listen to it whenever you need to. So thank you for taking the time out of your day, both everyone on the call as well as Jerry and Tara. Thank you so much. We here at Pinnacle, we have an excellent relationship with UH1. So feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to get you contracted. It's a pretty quick process, and you can start selling these products pretty quickly. So with that being said, you guys have a great Wednesday, hump day. And before you know it, it'll be the weekend. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Take care.